Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today this look is a Valentine's look. So it's a very sexy, flirty, cranberry sort of winged out smokes with a nice winged liner and a nude lip. Super highlighted as well because you can't go on a date without a blinding highlight, you know what I mean? I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I'll link everything in the description box down below. I'll also put my Instagram in there so you can go follow me on there too. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you at the end of the video. So the first shade I'm going to start off with is this one right here, which is called Raw Sienna, and it's from the Modern Renaissance palette by ABH. And I'm just taking that on a Zoeva 228 brush, and I'm just going to pop that into the crease and make it nice and blown out. And I'm blending this colour out quite far as well because we do want that sort of winged out shadow effect. So the next shade I'm going to take is this one right here. This one is Dizzy by Illamasqua, and it's like a really soft sort of rose petal pink. I'm just going to go right over the top of where we put that first shade just to make it slightly more pinky because I want this look to be a very sort of warm pinky cranberry look. And to create the winged out effect, I'm literally just flicking my brush in an outward direction just to pull some of the product there because we don't want it to be too harsh. And then going back in with that first brush that we used for the Raw Sienna shade just to blend around the edges. And I literally just forgot, but I'm going to apply some highlight to my inner corner, so I'm using the shade Vintage, which is from the Tarteist Pro palette, and it's just like a very pale white with sort of like a hint of pink in it, so I'm popping that on the inner corner. And this will just help it blend in with all of the other eyeshadows better than if we put it on after. I'm also going to apply a brow bone highlight, so I'm using the shade Vermeer from the Modern Renaissance palette, which is just a very shimmery pink shade. And I'm just applying that really lightly to the brow bone. So now I'm going in with a clean brush, and this is just the Zoeva 227. And I'm just buffing right around the edges. So to start deepening up the crease, I'm going to dip into this colour right here, which is called Venetian Red from the Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm taking that on a Zoeva 221 brush. And I'm starting off with a very small amount of product on my brush to make sure we don't overload. And I'm just starting on the outer corner in very small circular motions. And then I'm going to slowly start bringing it into the crease. And then just along the edges, I'm taking that Zoeva 228 brush and a little bit of the Raw Sienna shade again, like a very tiny amount, and I'm just running that right along the edge, just so we can keep that sort of warm, almost orangey brown edge onto it. And then again, going back in with my clean brush. The next shade I'm going to take is this shade right here, which is called Love Letter. And this is like a pinky cranberry colour. And I'm taking that on a Morphe E28 brush. And again, I'm just lightly applying that into the crease. Then I'm just going back in with the brush that we used for the Venetian red colour, just to blend over the edges of that love letter shade. The next shade we are going to take is this one right here, and this one is called Red Ochre. And this one is less sort of cranberry, it's more of like an earthy red, but I really like it for sort of deepening up the outer corner. And I'm taking that on a Zoeva 231 brush. And what I'm doing is literally just pressing this on to the outer corner. And then lightly tapping it into the crease as well. Then I'm going back in with that brush that I used for the love letter shade, just to blend those edges. Then I'm going to take my clean brush and I'm going to go all the way around the edges so I can make sure it's nicely blended and that I've not blended up too high. And then I'm taking a little bit of that raw sienna shade again, just right along the top edge. Then I'm going back in with Red Ochre and I'm going to continue to deepen this outer corner out. Next I'm taking my Zoeva 221 brush that I used for the Dizzy shade and I'm just packing that onto my lid as a base for our Cranberry shimmery shade. So next I'm taking my Morphe M506 brush and I'm taking a little bit of this shade right here that is called Drama from the Tarteist Pro palette, and I'm using that just to deepen up the outer corner a little bit more. I'm literally tapping this on with a really light hand because I don't want it to be too dark. And then going back in with that brush that we used for the Venetian red shade. So for the lid I wanted like a really nice shimmery cranberry colour, so I'm using this shade here, which is called Anarchy and it's from Makeup Geek. And I'm taking that on a Zoeva 234 brush. So what I'm doing is I'm loading up my brush with the product and then I'm going to spray it with some setting spray to make it a little bit more intense. And then I'm just going to pack that onto the lid, starting on the outer third, to sort of overlap it with those shadows that we've already placed on the outer corner. And then working my way in towards the inner corner. And then just to make sure the outer corners are really dark, I'm going back in with the Drama shade and the Morphe M506 brush and just pressing that on where the two shadows overlap. And then to finish off my inner corner highlight, I'm just going to take a little bit of that Vermeer shade again on a small brush and I'm just going to pop it right over the top of where we popped the first shade. So now I'm going to move on to the eyeliner. So first I'm going to tightline my upper waterline with the Marc Jacobs black highliner pencils. This is just like a waterproof gel pencil formula and it's really nice because it stays in the waterline all day. So now I'm going to create my winged liner. So I'm using my Tattoo liner by Kat Von D. And this is just the shade Trooper, which is just the black one. So I'm going to start off by sketching out the wing first. Once your winged liner is done, you can apply a nice coat of mascara to your top lashes. So the lashes I'm going to be using are these ones right here. They are one of Eldora Lashes new styles, the M111. So they're like multi-layered, they're really pretty, they're really flared, which I love. And they're synthetic and cruelty-free, which is a bonus as well. So once your lash glue is almost dry, you can go and pop those on. So I'm going to do my foundation off camera because I have got a foundation routine on my channel, which I will link down below, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I have done my foundation, concealer and set my face off camera. If you want to see how I do it, I do have a video of my foundation routine, which I will link in the description box. But for now, we're going to move on to the under eyes. Okay, so to start the under eyes, I'm going to line in my waterline with this black eyeliner pencil. So then I'm taking my Dizzy shade on a Zoeva 221 brush, and I'm just running that right along the lower lash line. Next, I'm taking some of that raw sienna shade on a Zoeva 228 brush, and I'm just placing that right over the top of that Dizzy shade. So next I'm going to take this pencil brush, it's a Zoeva 230, and I'm going to dip into the red ochre shade. And I want to place this really close to the lash line. And then with the same brush, I'm just going to dip into that Love Letter shade. And this is just going to make the underneath of the eye a little bit more of a cranberry shade rather than a red. And then just to deepen up the outer corner of the lower lash line, I'm going to take that Drama shade from the Tarteist Pro palette on my Morphe M506 brush. And I'm very slightly just going to run that along the lash line, just on the outer third. I'm actually going to change my brush, and I'm going to use my Morphe M559 with the Drama shade, just so I can get really close to the lash line. So now I'm going to apply some mascara to my lower lashes, and I'm just using the same mascara as before. So now our eyes are done, I'm going to move on to my highlight. So I'm going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Ultimate Glow Kit for this, because I want a really intense glow. So I'm taking my Morphe M510 brush, and I'm spraying it with a bit of I'm spraying it with a bit of setting spray. And then I'm taking the shade Sunray. And then I'm going to use the shade White Sand. So the aim of the game is to have a blinding highlight. So if you don't like your date, you can just blind him. And then to highlight the tip of my nose and my cupid's bow, I'm just taking a bit of the White Sand shade on my fingertip, and I'm just pressing it on, because I feel like you can get the best sort of colour payoff on a nose highlight if you do it with your finger. So once you're glowing like a little glow worm, that's probably enough. And we can move on to bronzer. So I'm using my usual bronzer, as always, the Illamasqua Duo, on my Morphe M500 brush, just to warm up the face. Look like a little Legolas with this hair, like a little elf. So once we're nice and bronzed, we can move on to contour. So I'm going to go in with my high definition duo fibre stippling brush and my NYX Pro Highlight and Contour palette, obviously. And I'm just going to define my contour. And then just to contour the sides of my nose lightly, I'm going to take just like a angled fluffy blender brush and a tiny little bit of the shade I used to contour. And I'm just going to lightly run it just along the sides of my nose. So now all we have to do is our lip, and I can't decide whether to do like a red lip, like a deep dark red, or whether to do a nude. I think I'm going to do a nude, obviously. But first I'm going to spray my face with my Urban Decay setting spray. So I'm going to use a favourite of mine, and it's the NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick in the shade Babydoll. First I'm going to line my lips with Illamasqua's Woo lip liner. Okay, so that is the finished look, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Cranberry Valentine's romantic flirty look. I really loved the way this look turned out. I really think it's such a pretty, like, sexy shape to do on your eye. It really, like, elongates your eyes, and I just love it. I just think it's so pretty. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As always, I will list everything I use in the description box down below. And please let me know if you recreate this look. Tag me in on Instagram. I will link my Instagram down below as well, because I love seeing people recreate my work. It makes me so happy. So freaking happy. I hope everybody has an amazing Valentine's Day, whether you are spending it with your boyfriend or girlfriend or with your friends. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back really soon with another video. Bye guys!